Today is Friday, February 27th, 2026. And it's in the simulator again, but it's a pretty good red day for me. Not a max loss day, not a blow up my account type of day, but pretty good. No doubt about it, red day. Finished the day at 78 cents for the profit ratio in the red. Took 16 trades, only had 6 winners, so that means 10 losers. That puts me at like a 38% accuracy on the day. Um, been a long, slow several weeks here lately. Today there was finally a couple tickers that were moving. Nothing great. Looking back, I think a little bit of excitement got into play today. Um, a little bit of hesitation and a little bit of chasing. This morning I took my first trade at 7:24, so I sat on my hands for an hour and a half. That being said, when I first came on, I watched the ticker RNA. Um, it had already made its move at like 4 a.m. and it went from like $6 up to 40 something dollars, and it reversed pretty quickly after that huge move to 42. But even as I got on at 6 a.m., it was hovering. I think it was around $15 or $14. And the volume had kind of died off on it, but it was still moving, and the spread was still really tight on it. And I watched it go. I mean, lots of little, 1380 to 1420 a few different times, and then it would dip down and hit like a 1335 and bounce back up to 1360. Those half dollar, whole dollar bounces that I love, but it just had already reversed so hard. And the volume had died off in it enough, but it was still moving. I mean, it was still kind of um, consistently moving. So I should have got in on several of those. I remember sitting there watching it happen, thinking, this isn't the A quality setup I'm looking for, but I know I could have made probably my daily goal just on 3 or 4 of those moves. Um, and I kind of regretted not getting involved in that. And then as the morning went on, other things started moving, and the attention got completely away from that, and it just completely shut down. And then the ticker that I got in on the most was BATL, an oil company, and I didn't expect it to move like it did, and then it broke through a whole dollar, and then it climbed to the next whole dollar. I don't know why it did it. Wasn't really expecting it, and then it was kind of the best move of the day, so I'm trying to chase it, and by the time I commit to it, I'm chasing a high, and I bought the top instead of the dip. And I mean, it is what it is. Same thing happened after the market opened. I traded until about 9:05 today. CDIO, which has made a big move, I think last week or something like that, um, and it still kind of keeps popping up a little bit every day. Well, today it popped up and it made like a $2 move after the market opened, and again I was chasing it, and it was starting to kind of hit this mark on the daily chart around the $200 average or the 200 EMA, and um, I'm not great at those kind of outlying, um, indicators that kind of you know align with support or resistance. I really focus on like the minute and the 10-second charts. So knowing that was coming up, it kind of threw my brain off as to like, are any of these other indicators even going to matter? And I start overthinking all this bullshit. And anyway, I didn't have any huge trades today. My biggest loser was 24 cents. My biggest winner was 10 cents. But it seemed like every time I finally committed to a trade, I was either chasing it or I had hesitated and committed late. and just, it is what it is. It's showbiz, baby. Not my worst day by any means. I am. There was a part of me that was gonna be done trading, and I think what I'm most disappointed in is that I didn't trust my gut to call it done before the market opened. Before the market opened, I was at 35 cents in the red, and that was at 3 out of 6 trades were winners. So I was at 50% accuracy and only 35 cents down on my profit ratio going into the market open. And I kind of told myself, it's not bad, call it good. A pretty minor red day, close to just a break even day. I mean, that isn't even something that's going to disrupt my week per se. Granted, this week has been a very poor week for me. I didn't trade at all Monday, and then I think Tuesday and Wednesday, I think Tuesday I only took a few trades, and then Wednesday I took even less, and yesterday I think I only took one trade or something like that. I almost nothing to show for this week. But even a 35-cent red day, I think I still would have ended up green on the week or close to break even. But then the market opened and I took 10 more trades and I only went green on 3 of those 10. So I was even less accurate. And, I over doubled my redness on the day. So I think I'm most disappointed in myself for kind of breaking that rule on my own. I don't want to say that I was trying to swing for a Hail Mary and make it all up in one trade per se, but I was trying too hard to not have a red day versus, committing to an A quality setup trade and taking that for what it is. I was getting in on trades thinking I could just nickel or dime my way out of the hole, and I ended up just making it worse. So I think that's what I'm disappointed in. And I kind of caught on to that. And after having, uh, you know, I kind of caught myself and told myself to not do that and don't start that whole spiral down. So I was able to kind of keep myself in check in a weird way, but I still let myself slide a little bit. So I need to not do that. I mean, that's what I think is probably the worst part about the day. Even being 78 cents in the red, one good day, and that doesn't matter. So I think what does matter is the fact that I slipped up on my self control, and I shouldn't have done that. If I were to be making this recap right now at 35 cents down, not trading anything after the opening bell, I think I would be a lot. I would have more pride in the way I finished the day than I do now because all I did was make it worse, and nothing to show for it. Even if I would had went green on the day, I still think I kind of know I shouldn't have fucked with it. I should have called it good at the market open and been happy with where I was. So I think that's the mark on the day is I allowed myself to break my own rule, and it ended up costing me today. Sometimes we can do that and it works out, but today it ended up costing me, and it's not a big deal. It's in the simulator account too, so it's even less of a deal. But it's just that psychological, the emotional part of it all. Um, so sucks to be Friday, so that means I got to sit on this feeling for the next 2 days. Shitty way to end the month. Also, this is the last trading day of February. where I had been otherwise doing, I think, really pretty well for most of the time. So this weekend, I'll end up making a monthly recap. I haven't done one of those in a while, so I'll be anxious to kind of go through my calendar and look at the days and kind of figure out how the whole month ended up being. Um, and I'll do that this weekend, and that'll be kind of refreshing. And yeah, but kind of a shitty Friday. I did it to myself. Could be much worse, um, but it could have been a little better. So that's about all I got to say about that. Hopefully, we can have a nice weekend and have some more momentum on Monday. All right.